Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So Sunderland have made their second signing of the January transfer window, and in my opinion, what a signing it is. I'm really happy with the signing of veteran centre-back Dhannoo. Well, I say veteran, he's 31 years of age, which is generally considered a slightly older or more experienced head. And that's exactly what we need across the back. It's exactly what we've needed. And not only that, he's not just an experienced head, he's a very good defender. For me, he is absolutely a championship level defender. And to bring him back down to this league, I think it speaks absolute volumes of what we can attract. And he is a really good centre-back. He really is. But before I get into my thoughts about the whole thing, we'll have a look at the statement from the club as usual. So Sunderland AFC is delighted to welcome centre-back Dhannoo to the Stadium of Light. The 31-year-old has put pen to paper on an 18-month deal on Wearside, joining from Sky Bet Championship side Stoke on a free transfer. A three-time promotion winner, Batth has made 13 appearances for the Potters during the current campaign, including a string of 9 successive league starts between November and January. The 6'3" defender has spent the majority of his career playing in England's second tier, making 260 appearances in the Championship and 117 in League One. Bath earned his first promotion from the third tier in 2012 with Sheff Wednesday, and he repeated that feat in 2014, captaining Wolverhampton Wanderers throughout their journey from League One to the Premier League. He was named in League One Team of the Season and PFA Team of the Year in 2014, and his performances continued to receive recognition in 2021 when he was named Stokes Player of the Month for November. The defender spent time on loan with Colchester United as a youngster, and he represented Middlesbrough during the 2018-19 season, with a move to the Potteries coming to fruition in 2019. Bath made 107 appearances at the Bet365 Stadium, including 101 starts, and he will be available for selection when Sunderland face Pompey at the Stadium of Light on Saturday. The defender said, "I'm very happy that this deal is done because this is a juggernaut of a football club and I'm delighted to be a part of its journey. This is the perfect setup for me. I'm really looking forward to playing in front of the home supporters, and I've already spoken to the head coach who has tried to sign me in the past. When the opportunity arose, I thought it would be the perfect option to crack on and do well." Lee Johnson added, "Dhannoo is a player that I've tried to sign a couple of times before, so it's third time lucky. We have some good characters already in place at the football club, and you are always looking to nurture leadership qualities, but Dhannoo's come ready-made. A dominant centre-back, he has a great personality, and I think he will have a really positive effect on and off the pitch." A pretty heavy statement there, but as you can see, he comes absolutely ready-made to help us out in this league. You know, I already knew how good of a player he was. He's done it time and time again, or at least a couple of times, getting promoted from League One, so he has that experience. He's been a part of a big project before with Wolves where he absolutely smashed it, and he was the captain there, he's the leader, and that's a big word for me, leader, because that is something that this squad at the minute and this club that we have, it's empty of leadership, in my opinion, in large aspects of the squad. You've got the likes of McGeady, who's currently injured. He is a leader, I guess. You know, Corey Evans, who I've gotten his back a bit. I still don't particularly rate him. He's had 2 or 3 good games since coming, and other than that, I think he's been really poor, always been injured. And, you know, he came into the squad immediately and was handed the armband. And usually, he's the first sort of captain of the club, Corey Evans, who I've had this massive disconnect from because I don't feel like I know him, don't really know his personality, we don't even really know what kind of player he is properly because we've seen so little of him. And in large parts, he's been relatively poor. But, you know, before he did get injured, I have to give it to him. He looked pretty decent. He looked tired on the ball, but that was about it. But the point still stands. I just don't feel connected to him as a captain and as a leader. I just don't see that in his performances on the pitch. But someone like Bath, 6'3", stick him in a back 4 or back 3, big brick shithouse. He's vocal. He's done it. He's been there before. And you look at him. If you think to yourself, you know, if you had to, picture a big brute of a centre-back for this league, he is the absolute definition of a big brute centre-back. He really is. He looks the part as well. You know, in terms of, his pace, it's not really there. But, for me, if you play him in maybe a back 3, sit him a little bit deeper within the back 3, you've got Doyle on one side, you've got maybe Baylor out on the other, or Flano, however you want to play it. It'd be absolutely ideal because it is such a good leader and he can control that back line. And his experience will help the likes of Doyle absolutely, and a lot more than Flanagan could. Because he does have that sort of preferable experience of going up the leagues. Has Dhannoo Bath, but yeah, a very good signing. I'm so happy with that signing. Because, like I say, the leadership ability, we just don't have it. I feel like at the minute this squad, there's a lot of good individual players. A lot of good individual players, but as you can see, you know, and obviously I need to put some blame to Lee Johnson, but you know, when we have seen, you know, we'll batter, you know, Chef Wednesday 5-0, and then we'll get a big result here and a big result there. Then out of nowhere, we look a complete contrast. Out of, like I say, against like Lincoln, we're shocking, looking nothing. We're absolute shadow of what we were the game before, which shouldn't happen, you know. And then against Aki as well, we were making nothing, we were creating nothing, we looked dead, you know. On paper, which we say all the time, it's cliche, but on paper, we look at the players we had. We should have got a result there, 100%, and then particularly against 10 men, and then to still concede, it's terrible. And that's when you need leaders, and we didn't. It was a team of individuals, and that's what it was. You need leaders, and someone like Danny Batth at the base of the spine of this squad. I think it's a very, very good addition, and for free as well, which I'm not complaining about. I know there's some Sunderland fans who, you know, we could get Messi in on a free and then still complain that the owners aren't shelling out any money. But, you know, you don't necessarily have to, and I've said this loads of times, you know, it's always nice, you know, sometimes when you spend $1 million and it gets all exciting here and there, but, you know, to get someone of the calibre of Danny Batth in on a free, I'm not going to complain at all. So I'm really, really pleased with that signing, and it's what we needed, you know. And I keep getting asked, you know, where else I think we should be recruiting. For me, I think we do need a winger, and I think Patrick Roberts will fit that. I'm going to get onto that in a moment as well. I feel like we also need a sort of, you know, a big brute in the middle of the park. You know, we've got the big brute in Danny Batth to sit in the centre of defence. I think we need the same thing in the centre of midfield, because, you know, we've got Dan Neal in there, who's a sort of Rolls Royce. He's really nice on the ball, good feet, he can break forward, he can burst forward. Of course, he can do a little bit of the dirty work, but he's not, you know, he's not class at it. To get someone who is sort of tried and tested and a big brute who can break up the play, and we need that bit of physicality. We've always been very, very weak. Since we come down to League One, we have been very, very weak. We've got a short squad, really weak, and now our squad at the minute is very young. So, of course, yeah, it's all well and good, you know, playing pretty football, but when you can come up against a side that wants to, you know, play the physical game, we absolutely bend over because we're weak as piss. So Danny Batth is the right step in the right direction, but I feel like we do need that in the centre of midfield as well. And then, of course, a striker, because all we have is Ross Stewart. You know, I don't, you know, Aidan O'Brien, whatever, but, you know, we have Ross Stewart. And that's pretty much it, because we're Broadhead out injured. We need someone else up there with him. And that comes on to the next point. So, of course, I'm buzzing with the signing of Danny Batth. Really, really pleased with it. Of course, you guys in the comments let me know how you feel about the signing of Danny Batth. I think it's a very, very good signing. But now on to a couple of other things. So, I couldn't actually make this video last night because I was at work. So, obviously, whilst everything was happening, I was at work. I was just checking my phone. I could see all this sort of unfolding. But, so, yesterday, whilst I was at work last night, Nick Barnes came out and said, he was on the radio, and he was asked about Patrick Roberts. And Nick Barnes said, we'll hear more about that tomorrow, meaning today. So at some point today, we might hear some news about Patrick Roberts. I don't know how much I'm reading into it, but that is what Nick Barnes said. Of course, well-respected journalist, commentary, part of the commentary team as well, on the radio, covering Sunderland games. Highly respected, and did say that we're expecting to hear something today. Whether that's the signing or it's just the confirmation of a medical at the club, I don't know, but we'll have to see. Also, someone else who's been on the radio this morning is none other than Jermaine Defoe. Now, when he was asked on the radio, he said, you know, I'm guessing you've had loads of offers, and he was saying, yeah, I've had loads of offers, which is really nice. At 39 years of age, it means you're obviously doing something right when you're getting this amount of calls at the age of 39. And then he was asked, can you tell us any of the clubs that are after you? And he said, well, obviously, I can't really say anything, but the one club that has been documented is a return to Sunderland. And then that was pretty much all Defoe really said on it. Of course, then the radio presenters were sort of saying, you know, this is what all the Sunderland fans want, and Sunderland fans are really excited, they want you to come back, you know, an extra 10,000 to go to the stadium like if you come back and stuff like that. But that's all he really sort of dabbled on when speaking about Sunderland. So for me, you know, I might be thinking too much into it, but I think if he's very much aware that he has an offer from us, and I think if he really wanted to come, then maybe I think he would have done it by now. I think he might be weighing up his options. Of course, you know, whoever he goes to now, it's going to be the last destination, in my opinion, possibly anyway. It could be the last half of a season that he's ever going to play in his career. So yeah, of course, it's a massive one. Does he want to come back to Sunderland and you know, play out the last season, maybe trying to get Sunderland back to the Championship, which would be an amazing way to see out his career? Or does he want to just try and test himself at the highest possible standard he can do? And I think he could probably still even do a job coming off the bench in the Prem for a certain team, you know, like a Burnley or someone like that. God forbid, not Newcastle, but you know what I mean? I think he can still do a job because he's still got that poaching, that finishing ability, which you don't lose regardless of your age. But I think I think he will just have a plethora of Championship clubs begging for his services. But he has mentioned us, which obviously got people excited, but that makes me think, very 50-50. If he wanted to, why isn't he here already type thing? But we'll see. So yeah, we've signed Danny Batth. Very, very excited and happy with that one. We've been linked with Aidan Flint as well, who I did actually say on Twitter when there was sort of comparisons between the two. There was rumours that we were after Flint and after Danny Batth as well. I did say that I'd actually generally prefer Flint, but I'd still be happy with Batth. If we're still after Flint, that'd be class, although that would make it quite a slow defence. Like I say, Batth, he's a very big lad, 6'3", big brick shithouse, but he isn't the quickest, and it's very similar with Flint. I think Aidan Flint, he's 6'6", but he's also really slow, but they're sort of intelligent defenders where, they're very aware of their weakness, in which is their pace, so they kind of sit back a little bit, drop a little bit deep when they have to, if balls are going to come in behind and what have you, but that's just the basics of defending. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything. So for today, of course, Batth had signed, which was yesterday. We may hear something on Roberts today, and the Defoe thing is just absolutely ongoing, so we'll have to see. But you guys let me know, and everything I've covered in this video, let me know how you feel in the comments down below. But if you've enjoyed, please hit the like button for me. It always is appreciated. It really, really is, and it helps out the channel. So hit the like button if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you're new to the channel to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, you take care and stay jamming.